Hey there, welcome to this Ucam Xpert version 2025.06 release video. My name is Sylvia Lima and I'm with Ucamco Belgium. This release is a different one. I have the pleasure to show our brand new Ucam Xpert features. The new product contains all upgraded and enhanced features of Ucam X, and on top, the access to the all-new Ucam Xpert features. We took all the feedback we got from our customers worldwide. We examined new ideas from internal and external sources. We analyzed our existing features and brainstormed, tested, discussed, developed, retested. Literally, we have done everything possible to have the best start into a new CAM era, which we call Ucam Xpert. As in release videos before, I will use the release overview as a guide through the new features. You can find that, as always, in our Know system on https://info.ucamco.com in Ucam Xpert timeline. You have the start of a new CAM generation. Now let's have a look at our first new Xpert feature, the Job Tree Local. Ucam Xpert's Job Tree Local is a complete new concept of data management and a whole different structure as in Ucam X. It enhances traceability and accountability, prevents the data inconsistencies, and ensures reliability throughout the production process. It has efficient data management and tracking. It maintains the processing structure of CAM data. It organizes CAM data into processing steps. It ensures full traceability. It logs all important changes. It's fully integrated with workflow engine products, the storage system that copies all essential data to prevent inconsistencies, and it comes with an easy overview for step dependencies. In the release overview, you find some pictures. You can have a closer look later on. In the main menu, you have in Job the entry for the job tree, which opens the job tree window. On the left side, you see the existing job tree jobs. You can directly double-click on an existing job tree job and it shows you the existing steps. If you click on a job and use Open, you get the same. It shows you the existing steps. If we have a closer look at one of the steps, I can see in the preview directly what it contains. You can get a new step, duplicate a step, for example, to add some changes. You can rename, reload, or delete a step. Opening existing jobs, creating a new job, or importing ODB data is easily handled. The AI start I will show later on in this tour because it's a new feature too. So let's have a look at getting a new job tree job. I give it a name. I can use, for example, a customer from a pre-prepared list. This is done in the settings. I can use a revision or not. In this case, I want to load and open to create a step. Now I give a step name, in this case, production panel, and I load the data. It directly loads every step which is contained in the data. So, for example, the two PCBs, a mixed panel, and a production panel. To know how they are related to each other, I can open the dependencies. For example, the assembly panel 2 is contained in the production panel. The production panel contains the assembly panel 2, and that contains the 2 PCBs. Why is that important? If I, for example, go to one of the jobs and I do some visible changes. So for example, we select all the copper filling and delete that. If I now go there and open the production panel, the changes are there. So based on the relations between the steps, the changes are directly passed to the related steps. As long as nothing is saved, I can reload the step from the file system. So if I now think it was a stupid idea to delete that, I can reload from the file system and have my original status again. So now let's have a look how the import of ODB data is working. I open that and I select the ODB dataset. And then it starts loading everything which is inside and give me a job tree similar to the ODB dataset. So multi-job was the dataset I load in. I have my panel in there. I have the assembly panel in there. And I have the single data in there. I think that shows quite nicely what job tree local can do for you. The settings are quite easy. I decide what is displayed, what I would like to see, and I can create, for example, a comma-separated list of customers to use. That was it for the job tree local. And the next new feature, the Ucam Xpert Panel Expert. Our Panel Expert comes with 3 different parts. The first part is the production panel, the second part, the assembly panel, and both of them are using the third part, the area constructor. The production panel reduces the setup time and improves production quality. It contains advanced production panel design and reproduction. It is a simple yet powerful tool for coupon placement. It seamlessly recreates existing panel layouts. It comes with a live preview for precision and accuracy, and with extensive customization options. Let's look at it in Ucam Xpert. I will use this nice unregular formed PCB to have a good overview. In main menu, Tools, Panel, Panel Expert, I can open the production panel. The Panel Expert production panel window directly shows the pre-calculated results for the different frames. The list of frames is visible here, and if I, for example, switch between the frames, I see the different results, including everything which is set for coupons, targets, and user text. So if I pick one, I can see that the result is quite okay, but not perfect. So I will use the Panel Expert Area Constructor, which maximizes the panel space utilization, increases design efficiency, and reducing material waste. On top of the main window, we see the possibilities to have a skeleton view or a solid view, the zoom possibilities, and the undo and redo. The second row is directly the editing possibilities we have. So let's see. If I want to select one specific PCB, I can click on it, or I can select them all. I can deselect one of them. Or I could deselect everything, but for now I would like to delete everything else. Now I would like to duplicate this, so I use the copy functionality to have a second one here. We have a copy and a move, and of course we can, for example, move with an offset. So if I put in a -20 here, I can have a preview and I say confirm. Quite easy to move the things around, but I would like to have now a rotated part of this. I would like to have them all aligned to the left. And I would like to have the top one bumped to the other one with the clearance of 2 millimeters. So this is one click and it is done. So if I now select everything, I can save this, for example, as a cluster. And I call it cluster 1. This is now showing up in the list. Now I can go there and activate it. And it shows me the cluster optimized on the panel I selected. If I'm happy with what I see, I can go to save and it will directly go back to the production panel and shows me the result. If I now want to modify a little bit more, for example, I select this cluster and I delete it to have a little bit more space, for example, to add some coupons or some information in here. Let's zoom a little bit in and I take a specific coupon and say edit, and then I can move it wherever I want to have it, for example, in my space here. If that is what I would like to have, I can directly go to Save and Open Step and have a look at the result. Here you see the result. You see the coupon in the free area, and in the job tree you can see the production panel, the PCB and the cluster. So now let's try it again. I will reload the PCB. So I delete what we have created before and only load that step. If I now go to Tools, Panel, Panel Expert, Assembly Panel, I have the same possibilities for zoom, skeleton or solid view, for undo and redo, and all the modifications of the PCB positioning as in the production panel. In this case, I would like to pre-prepare again the cluster. I could have reused the cluster we created before, but I will do it again. So I select them all and throw them away except for one. And I copy that one. I rotate it. Then I align it to the left. And the top one I will bump to the bottom one with the pre-specified clearance. So this now is my cluster. So I will save it as cluster 1 again. And if I now go there and activate that, I can recalculate and have my frame set with the size. If I like what I see, I can save that and it goes back to the assembly panel. In the assembly panel, I have the same possibilities to modify the panel. Means I have different coupons I can add. I have the same modifications where I can do something. For example, select one of the clusters and delete it. Or I can move it with a specified value. So for example, I do a 10 here, have a preview, and I could confirm that. If I don't want to, then I, of course, have my undo functionality. On top of it, I can change the route clearance. I can use the score lines if I want to. I can change all corners or specific ones. So for example, the top right, I can make instead of this nice big fillet, I can make it a small one and we directly see the result of it. I can change the frames. So the bar left, right, and bottom, for example. So if I want to have everywhere a 10 millimeters, I go there and put it in. And now I have the need to say what I would like to see as a copper filling. So here I have my frame size, which is now available, and I can put in the honeycomb for specific layers or pads or stars or whatever is available. So now I'm happy with what I selected and what I set, and I can say save and open step. That means it will create in the background the steps and I will get my assembly panel. And you see, it is using what was predefined as a copper filling. So for example, in here, the honeycomb or the lines or the dots. This one now can be used in the job tree. You see the assembly panel. If I have a look at the PCB and the cluster, I can use now for the production panel. It directly calculates what's possible in the various frames. And if you like what you see here or here, you can use that and save and open step. I think we are through with this PanelXpert, and then you can have a look at the pictures in here, the descriptions of it. But for now, we are going to the next feature, which is the Ucam Xpert DRC Xpert. Our all-new DRC Xpert streamlines issue resolution, enables faster overview, and comes with an option to immediately recheck. It contains a configurable DRCs for fast and accurate issue resolution, a customizable DRC workspace for optimal user experience. It quickly identifies and addresses issues with tailored checks. You can specify detailed checks via usage of attributes and can have instant localized DRC checks after repairs for rapid validation. It has a clear graphical reporting for easy interpretation. In the release overview, you have some pictures of the GUI and the detailed windows. In the main menu, with Tools, Verify, DRC Xpert, I start the pre-prepared workspace for the DRC Xpert. This, of course, you can change for your needs. So the position and the sizes of the windows are up to you. The pre-prepared workspace comes with the main area. On the right side, the view guide to see where you are on the PCB, and the layer box. In the middle, we have the three new windows for the DRC Xpert: the DRC Run box, the DRC Bar Chart box, and the DRC Fault Details. DRC Xpert checks are organized in databases. So you can load the pre-prepared database we deliver with the DRC Xpert, and you can change the values in there to your liking. For example, 1_inner.db contains all these checks, and the critical values, the warning values, and the safe values are visible here. Into the database with the DB browser, for example, you can see the same database check and all the information which is in there. So all the filters, the name, the units, and of course the values. It is quite easy to change that with a DB editor. If I now have a closer look at the DRC Run window, I have the possibility to only run the DRC on selections or on what's visible in the screen, like this, for example, or you can run it global. You have always the choice to use a current netlist, means the DRC Xpert will not run a netlist before checking, or you can create a layer netlist before or a job netlist. I will use the job netlist and let it run. I get the information how many errors are there. I will have a look at the track clearance, for example, and go to the first error. I see there is a track clearance. I have the information how many faults are there, in this case 1. I have the minimum value in here, 0.062, and my critical value is 0.1. If I do a very quick and dirty transformation, so I take this line out of the equation and let it run on screen, then it will only check what's in there. The rest of the error stays, but as we can see, the track to hole error is not available anymore. If we load, for example, a check for an outer layer and let it run globally through, I have my errors, and you see that the pad to pad is 0.1, but the critical value is 0.11. So if I click on that and zoom a little bit more in, I can run through the errors with the DRC fault details and see where the errors are. Or if I switch to SMD, which is based in attributes, I can have a look at only these errors. The most important thing, I think, is that you always have the informations you need. So, for example, the aperture number, the shape of the object, and the coordinates, and that you can accept an error. So if I go there and say accept, this error will be removed from the list. I do some more and you see the number here is going down. Or you can say this is something a user is not able to decide by himself and he needs a specialist to look at it, and he can flag that one for another person to have a look at. And directly you have the information here in the orange part, the flagged error. So I think with all the information, the new organization in a database, the configurable DRCs, and everything we changed in the behavior so that you can have checks based on attributes, for example, SMD to SMD, which we haven't had before. I think this is a big step forward and it is quite easy to handle. And the next topic, the auto input or AI start. And now the circle is closing. We are coming to the last Ucam Xpert feature, the auto input or AI start. It ensures consistency, reduces errors, and simplifies complex data handling. It's an automated data input process and eliminates the need for manual classifications. It makes the data import a one-step operation and automatically identifies and renames layers according to customer-defined rules. It registers layers automatically and recognizes drill spans for instant application. You can either open the AI start from the main menu, Job, AI start, or you can use the job tree window with the AI start button we have seen before. Both are open the AI start window. Here I have the possibility to give the new job a name. So let me call it AI start. And you can search for either an archive and select that, or you can select a complete folder. After pressing import, the whole process is running in the background. You see a progress bar running here. If you don't want to wait on it, you can open a second Ucam Xpert and work on whatever work you have to do. Or you can wait for it and see how it is going through the steps. We now see the AI start job and the imported step. It is directly read in, so if I have a look at it, I see my complete job with the drill span inside. If I go to layer modify, I can see the original name of the Gerber file in this case, the new name, which is renamed to the class and subclass, and the readable side, and whatever information is available is in this job. What is not done is any changes to the data itself. Yes, the layers are aligned, but we haven't changed anything inside the data. So no contourizations, changing of objects or whatever. If we have a look at the messages, let's put it in the middle. You can see that there is an input remark, and that will give you information like you get when you read it in manually, and so you are not losing any information. We go back to our release overview, and as we are finishing the Ucam Xpert features, we now start with the extension to the Galaxy Output. A small but very convenient extension to our Galaxy AOI output will save time and avoid inspection on route paths by simple addition of a route layer as a hardware mask. Nothing more to do except for copying the route layer and give it hardware mask as a subclass. That brings us to the next extension in our FaultStation. The extension to our FaultStation is that we now show the net names directly in the FaultStation's query object. This prevents unnecessary switching between software and is a very fast way to get detailed information. So if we have a look here at the query object window, you directly have the new information about the net names in here, and you don't have to switch to a different software. That will bring us to our next feature, and that is the ODB import extension. The extension to our ODB++ import is a new supported option for the key odbxx.input.job_dynamic_string. Now the name of the base path of the TGZ file is available as the value for dynamic string. So if I set the key to info, $job is replaced by the job name specified in the ODB info file. Here you see the specification in the info file. If the key is set to archive, the value for dynamic string during ODB import is considering the name of the compressed ODB++ job. In case of conversion of an expanded ODB++ job, this configuration will use the name of the base folder. And now I'm already at the end of our tour. And there is more. Ucam Xpert version 2025.06 comes with a host of fixes for issues you have cared to report. Please keep on doing so. Your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you. As always at this point, the information that we list major open issues as soon as they are detected in the file open_issues_datecode.txt in the versions folder of the FTP site. Please monitor this to avoid potential production problems. We recommend to install this update at your earliest convenience. The installer can be downloaded from the Ucamco FTP download server. We recommend to use an FTP client as most browsers do not support FTP. For questions, please contact our local business partner or the Ucamco help desk. We thank you for choosing Ucam Xpert. I am already at the end of the tour through our new Xpert features, but these are only the beginning. I hope I interested you enough to test Ucam Xpert. As said before, try it. You will never want to go back. You always can review the video on our YouTube channel or open it with the link in the release overview. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.